Welcome to part 5 of the Family Progress Data instructional video detailing the data required at point of closure. So let's start by going into the Add Family Data at Closure screen. You will see that we are asking for the same 4 indicators as we did at the start, and the same information and instructions are available throughout. The closure data has already been entered for the Smith family, but it is important to note that the intervention end date is entered. For this case, the intervention ended on the 1st of March 2017. Please note, at point of closure, we are looking back 12 months from the closure date. However, if the whole Think family intervention was less than a year, you would therefore look back for the duration of the involvement. For example, if the intervention started in January and closed in the September, we would look back 9 months to prevent the duplication of data. This explanation can be seen in the instructions box on screen. If you want to know how to enter the family data at point of closure, please watch part 3 of the instructional video. Now that the family data has been entered, we can press Save and Exit and move on to individual data at point of closure. To get started, we press Add Individual Data at Closure and the individual data screen will appear. Again, we have started to input the closure data for Sarah. As you can see, as we make our way through the tabs, all of them have been marked as not applicable. When completing the start data, we reference that Sarah has struggled with anxiety and depression for many years, however was not receiving support. Through the intervention, Sarah was encouraged to engage with other services and has been receiving regular support for this since April 2016. This data can be seen on screen now. Now that the individual data has been entered, we can press Save and Exit and the individual data at point of closure is now complete. At this stage, the final thing to do is to complete the closing summary. As part of the evaluation of the programme, it is important that we understand what outcomes were being worked to with the family and what progress has been made. So let's go into the complete closing summary screen. Similar to the family and individual data screens, support information is provided throughout. As you can see, there's definitions on the right-hand side of the screen, which helps to understand what a need in this area would look like, as well as what progress would look like as an indicator. The 5 overarching outcomes shown at the top are mirrored in the outcomes framework and are what all professionals are working towards in Cambridgeshire. The outcomes framework was designed by the local authority and partners to identify a standard suite of measures which can be used to evidence the sustained and significant improvement with families. The first outcome is around education, that children are ready for and attend school and make expected progress. The first box asks that we identify any family members who had needs in this area either at the start or during the intervention. You would confirm this by ticking the box. For this example, Amy had needs in this area. Using the definitions on the right-hand side, Amy had a persistent absence rate of 10% across the last 3 consecutive terms. It is important to identify if there were needs in this area at the end of the intervention. When deciding if an outcome has been achieved, it's helpful to read the indicator and evidence definitions. With the example used previously, the outcome would be achieved if the child had an average attendance rate of 90% across 3 consecutive terms at the end of the intervention. In this case, Amy had made significant and sustained progress in regards to her education, therefore did not have needs at the end of the intervention. We then need to identify what indicators were used to measure the progress towards this outcome. You can see that several options are provided and you can tick more than one indicator. For Amy, it was her attendance, attainment and exclusions that were used to measure progress. Now that the indicators have been identified, we need to confirm what evidence was used. For this example, it was data from the school, family observations and the lead professional's judgment. This information is saved in the family file and details included on the family support plan. Please note that there is also a free text box if you have further information that's not included in the indicators or evidence list. The next outcome is around work, that adults and young people have the skills, qualifications and opportunities to succeed in the employment market and make a positive contribution. From the data previously entered, it was mentioned that Sarah was neat. However, Sarah no longer has needs in this area because through the support of the team around the family, she has started an apprenticeship, and the evidence was through the family observation and the lead professional's judgment. All of this information was saved in the family support plan and work outcomes tool. The third outcome is around health, that families enjoy good physical and mental health and have a healthy lifestyle. David has suffered with alcohol misuse for many years, and Sarah has struggled with mental health. David no longer misuses alcohol, and although Sarah's mental health issues remain, strategies are in place to support Sarah. The evidence for this outcome was family observation, lead professional judgment, and this is all saved in the family support plan. The next outcome is around resilience, whereby families are protected from harm and neglect and are provided with support with their problems before they become too difficult to manage, increasing their resilience. Due to the history of domestic abuse in the home, all members of the family had needs in this area. However, through the work of the intervention, the perpetrator has engaged with a domestic violence programme, the family's resilience scores have increased on the distance travelled tool, and the risk score and Cardidash has reduced. This has been evidenced through all listed and can be found on the distance travel tool, in the electronic family file, and also in the family support plan. The final outcome is around crime and antisocial behaviour, in that families contribute to the community and are not engaging in antisocial or offending behaviour. Sarah was previously involved in antisocial behaviour, but there has been a 60% reduction, and this data has been provided by the housing provider and also the police. This evidence has been saved in the electronic family file. Finally, we need to review the lead professional statements. We will tick all of the statements as it is the view of the team around the family that the family require no further support. As Sarah still has mental health needs, it is important that we put some comments as to why we're closing despite there being outstanding needs. For this example, we can write, Sarah still has mental health needs, but sufficient plans and strategies are being followed and no additional support is required. At which point, we can save and exit and return to the overview screen. Unlike the other screens, when going back into the closing summary screen, the information does not pre-populate. Therefore, this information can be reviewed in the tab shown at the bottom of the toolkit. You have now completed the Family Progress Data Toolkit. Thank you for watching, and if you have any further questions, support and guidance is available using the contact details on screen now. Thank you.